TV, thank you so much for being with us. 25 minutes past 8 a.m. as we continue on with Morning at NTV. I am Priscilla Regina Naluoga. Our tech note this morning is going to be looking at the implementation of the digital number plates. Now, last week on Thursday, President Museveni was very curious on the progress of the implementation of the digital number plates, which he stated that he was excited about in terms of using it as a way of dealing with the increasing crime in Uganda, especially in urban centers. Now, the Minister for Security, Jim Museveni, in a brief response, did make an indication that the investor had hit some challenges, but is now good to go on the investment and making sure that the process does continue as they continue to service the program. Now, it's from this background that we bring this conversation to you this morning. But first, we want to hear from President Museveni and also Minister for Security, Jim Museveni, and what their comments were on this exercise.
My ministry and the Ministry of Works are spearheading this project, but we are working with all other agencies, including police. And even the...
How is the science? Can you actually...
The science of digital number plates...
Is it accurate?
Yes. In fact, recently a police car was stolen and driven to Kenya, and it was recovered because of these digital number plates.
Yes, that's what I thought, because when they briefed me, so what is the problem? Why is it not free?
No, there were a few problems, but yesterday we had a meeting. Now the investor is ready to roll it out.
Very good.
Completely.
Because you see thank you very much. You know what you should do? The way the NRM worked is that we didn't have enough resources. But whenever we have an idea, we bring it and discuss it, all of us, and we act together.
Well, we do have ITMS, which is a global security company that is handling the exercise for us as Uganda. And we do have Galina joining us. She is the head of communications to bring more light to the matter, what the hiccups were and how do we go on from here. Galina, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good to see you.
A bit of a spot of bother for the country, having started off this exercise for digital number plates, starting off with government vehicles. First of all, give us an update. How far has the exercise moved?
For now, it is 1,090 government vehicles only. But even with this amount, the project actually has proven itself worthy. Mm-hmm. Because even in this small amount, we could actually track the first stolen vehicle with the new digital number plates. Mm-hmm. And I'm proud to say that the vehicle was found in 10 minutes after the crime was detected. And I like the story very much. It was already taken to Kenya, mm-hmm. so it was out of the country, mm-hmm. but we could still locate it, and the troops went and retrieved it.
Okay.
So it's working.
Okay. All right. And how have you actually been doing that? Do you get a vehicle? How long does it take to transfer from the local number plate to the digital number plate?
For now, we have the timelines. It's 20 minutes for one car for replacement of the number plates. For the new car, it's even faster, of course. And for the motorcycles, it depends on the location, but for the new motorcycles, right now we are stuck to 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. And all motorcycles, 20 minutes.
Okay.
So that's the timelines.
And these have been paying for that service?
For now, government is paying for the governmental vehicles. Mm-hmm. But as soon as we start implementation to the public, it will happen November the 1st for the motorcycles, and January the 1st for the vehicles, for the motor vehicles, for the cars. People will pay for reinstallation and installation of their own cars. It's public-private, I mean.
Okay. Before we go into how much I will have to pay, you hit a snag on this exercise. What led to that?
Could you please...
In terms of you ran out of number plates while you were doing the public vehicles, and so, but having known of that, then there's a new consignment that has come up. So what led to that hiccup?
Actually, we can't, right now we're not doing public, it's up to the current service providers. As far as I know, yesterday they had a press conference explaining why this crisis and delay happened. I can speak for our company and I can speak for us. Now it will be literally impossible to run out of number plates because we've started the factory here in country. Before that, we all were dependent on the logistics. We were all dependent on supplies from the other countries. But since June, I think yes, beginning of June, the factory is fully capable, and we are capable of producing up to 5,000 sets of number plates per day here in Kampala. So it will prevent from the country and us from the future crises because we can produce them here. We don't need to import it from the other countries.
Okay. What other challenges have you so far experienced with the conducting of the exercise?
Oh, actually, the major issue, I think, was the legislation and, let's call it, the paperwork. The project is completely new to the country, and all participants of the project even could not from the beginning guess what challenges will face in process of implementation. And when we do something extremely new with plenty of different stakeholders from different parts of the government and public and society and us, we could not do something as fast as we wanted to, as we planned to. So, and the other issue is sensitization issue. When we first started, we faced the challenges that the majority of society still does not understand what we are doing, actually. And for example, border riders with whom actually this project started, because the president was, as far as I know, the idea of digital number plates was because of the border-associated crimes. And it's a huge part of society, very active politically and socially active part of society, and they did not understand what was happening. And they even did not understand the prices. And so we faced challenges in understanding and approval of society. So the government decided to give public more assurance of what is happening and start with their own vehicles, showing how that, okay, we're doing it for ourselves. You see, nothing strange, nothing wrong. It really works, it really helps. So legislation, sensitization, and a bit of logistics, because when we were importing, right now we're not, it's important, but when we were importing from Europe, and we are Russian companies. We sometimes faced challenges due to political issues, let's say like this.
You've mentioned that the end user had queries with the charges. What are the charges for the plates?
Everybody knows 714,000, but it's only for newly imported or newly produced vehicles, regardless if it is motorcycle or a car. But
whether it's a motorcycle
or a car,
vehicle,
or
they are all paying 714,000
for the new one.
Yeah.
But for the replacement, when, for example, we are changing the owner, or just out of blue you decide to change the old number plates to new number plates, it's 150,000 shillings. And for the border riders, it's 42,000 shillings. So the prices depend on the type of the vehicle and on if it is new or not.
Okay. All right. What brings the price to 714,000? Because this is quite a huge difference between 714,000 and 150,000.
Yes, that's true. Actually, these costs, they were, as far as I understand, it was joint decision of the government. The cost price of one set of number plates, zero, I mean, without any profits on our side, is $150. Which, so when we are talking...
This was when you were importing?
No, that's the price of the full set. What is digital number? It's 2 number plates,
yes,
1 tracker and 2 beacons. It's more of it. It's not just physical devices. It's quite a complicated IT system. It's a huge command center, which is now in Naguru Police Headquarters, and it's work of lots of people doing the software, the hardware, and implementation. So the approximate cost price of one set of digital number plates is 150 USD.
Okay.
But we are, the government and us, we've come to an agreement that to facilitate society and not to overburden society, we are reducing prices for borders, for example, and we are selling our sets of number plates way cheaper than it really costs us. So we are covering this partly we are covering our expenses, selling the new sets a bit more expensive than they really cost, but reducing the price for borders and for the re-registrations. We're selling it cheaper than it costs.
Okay, so these prices are at manufacturing for the plant that you've set up here?
Yes.
In Uganda?
Yes.
Okay.
We are...
Have you received any incentives from the government to be able to help you?
Yes, actually.
For example?
For example, when we faced these logistical challenges, we were talking about regarding the political situation in the world, the government actually was extremely helpful in overcoming them. And I would like to thank everyone from the government for patience, because at that moment the project was at risk, let's say it like this. And those who supported it and those who, like us, believe that it really brings something good to the country, these people supported us. Those members of the government, let's say, let me say it like this, those members of the government who really believe in the project, they support us immensely.
Okay, all right. Now, given the fact that you are running this project, I know that you're having it for a 10-year tenure. Then thereafter, are you open for renegotiation to continue with the exercise, or do you hand it back to government?
We are handling it back to government. That's one of the major agreements we've reached. We're bringing infrastructure, technology, training people, locals, and then we're handling all of this to the government. So you are right now, actually, as far as I understand, Uganda is the first East African country who right now has its own production of number plates.
Okay.
So in 10 years, the country will be able to produce not only number plates for itself, but sell them to neighboring countries, for example, and be the exporter. So yes, and for the technology and trainings, right now we have more than 100 local people who are members of our company, who are the members of our team. And they are highly skilled, really, and we're super proud of them being a part of this. Okay. And by the end of the year, we are planning to hire up to 1,000 people as soon as we start public implementation. Mm-hmm. So by the end of this 10-year period, we'll train a huge amount of people, huge amount of technicians and IT guys.
Okay. All right. Now, there's other motor vehicle tracking companies that have existed before ITMS came into business here in Uganda, and I'm pretty sure they're threatened by the fact that you're taking away all business. Do you intend to integrate them into the exercise in one way or another?
We had a number of meetings, sensitization meetings, and actually the business is a bit bigger than just governmental tracking. You see, for now, only the government, especially UPF, and only several specifically trained officers have access to this system and to this tracking capabilities. I mean, it's not just any ordinary policeman who can log into the system and look where, I don't know, his wife's vehicle is. It's only few selected people, and each one of them, it's triple check actually, because each officer has his own login and password, and his superiors are able to see what the person was doing in the system. And you can't just play with it, tracing some random vehicles. It has to be a police case which starts the process. So at first, someone has to report on the crime, and only then, when the case is starting being solved, only then the police officer have rights to access to the system. Okay. And for example, for current business owners, they still have capabilities of serving the needs of fleet owners, of motorcycle production companies who now use their services actually. Okay. So the system works, but only limited amount of people have access to it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Galina, and wishing you all the best. ITMS, that is the company that is handling this exercise, starting off with the government vehicles, and then as of 1st January, we'll be having this exercise extended to public vehicles.
Motorcycles.
November 1st for motorcycles and border borders in this regard. All right, that brings us to the end of this conversation. As we do wrap it up here.